What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to version 42.3 patch notes. Some changes to heroes like Wukong, Kalari and Iggy and a few others, as well as a lot of changes to numerous cards along with the introduction of Drongo, the latest hero to enter Monolith. There's also a lot of other changes both inside and outside the game which we'll cover in this video. Let's start with the hero and card balance changes. Epic have said, we're making some changes to a few heroes that are under and overperforming. We are toning down the effectiveness of Wukong, Iggy and Scorch, Kalari and Kuang. On the flip side, you'll notice improvements to Gideon, Wraith and Zinx. A sizable chunk of cards have also been rebalanced. A few key outliers include Godmother Vigilant, Flame of Zacian and Shadow Dancer, which are all slightly less effective. Let's take a look at the heroes. Wukong is the first hero to receive nerfs and it's pretty significant. I think we can all agree that this guy definitely needs it. All the stats you see before you have seen a significant reduction as well as an increase in cooldowns on his Cloudwalker ability. His passive gold gain was the most troubling issue for me. The fact that you could shut down a Wukong numerous times in a game, but if he just AFK farmed, he'd still be able to keep up. So they've essentially halved his gold gain at all levels. Iggy and Scorch are up next, but I didn't find them incredibly overpowered, at least to the degree that I felt Wukong and Kalari are, so I'm happy to see that he wasn't nerfed too hard. All they really did with Iggy was nerf his health and health regeneration and their gains per level. His ultimate was reduced in damage slightly, but I don't think it was a considerable amount that should leave Iggy mains concerned. I definitely think this guy is still going to be a great pick. Kalari has seen a rough time in Paragon. There have been so many up and down moments for her, and I'm hoping this nerf isn't about to bring her downfall. They've increased her Shadow Dance cooldown to 11 seconds at level 4 and reduced her damage overall as well as attack speed gained per level. Her base defense has also seen a reduction and the amount of base defense she gains per level has also been reduced. I agree, Kalari did do too much damage. Finding the right amount is going to be tricky for Epic because you want to give players time to react to a Kalari coming out of stealth and hitting you, but you also want her to feel like an assassin. Perhaps reducing the damage and making her more vulnerable was a bit too much, I'm not too sure, but time will tell. Kuang is the final hero to receive a nerf. I don't think it's a significant nerf, it definitely punishes his early game more in my opinion since they've reduced his ability and base defense by 20 across all levels, which should make him less of an early game bully. Moving on to some buffs, Gideon has seen his power scaling on all his abilities increase to bring him more in line with other casters. I already felt like Gideon's Cosmic Rift hit like a truck, so I can't even imagine what the new one is going to feel like. Wraith has the lowest win rate of all the heroes, whereas prior to version 42 he was sitting somewhere in the middle of the pack. I'm uncertain whether these changes are big enough to have a significant impact on him. They've increased his survivability and given him more attack speed, but I don't think it's a big enough difference. I personally still think Wraith is a great hero, and it comes more down to players failing to adjust to version 42 and the new pace of gameplay, so I'm glad that Epic hasn't done anything too drastic like increase his damage or anything else. It's actually funny that Zinx is tied third at the bottom with regards to win rates, and I know they're not incredibly accurate or something we should be using to judge, but it does make me wonder why Epic said she was designed for version 42 when honestly it feels like she wasn't. Version 42 is all about quick and fast damage and Zinx lacks that. Sure, she can make a great tank late game and can definitely be a force to be reckoned with. I just felt like she didn't do enough damage and that her kitty claws cost way too much. So good news, they've reduced the mana cost and increased the power scaling on her kitty claws, although the base damage did get reduced slightly. Now that we've had a look at the heroes, let's take a look at some of the cards. I'm not going to have a look at all of the cards, I'm just going to touch on ones that I feel are most relevant, starting with Awaken the Emrich. They've increased the cost from this card from 4 vitality and 6 intellect to 4 vitality and 8 intellect. They've increased the rate at which minions with drained life lose health from 3% max health to 5% max health per second. They've increased structure damage against toxic horde minions. They will now be killed in one attack. So basically if you flip the wave, those minions will now be killed in one attack by the tower. They've increased the volume of card activation and the range at which it can be heard. They've also fixed an issue where minions would pass directly to the core after being converted converted while between objectives. Shadow Dancer was one of the main cards I was looking forward to getting rebalanced. They've increased the cost by 1 on both Vitality and Intellect. The card now only puts you in the Shadow Plane for 10 seconds rather than 15, and to compensate for the price increase, they've given you 4 extra base power. Shadow Dancer is an incredibly strong card, and when paired with the right hero and player is a nightmare to deal with, so I'm liking the cost increase, delaying it slightly for players. I still would like the card to be cursed, forcing players to commit to it forever, but maybe these changes are enough for now. What do you guys think? Godmother Vigilant has seen a significant nerf, and while the elevate bonus remains untouched, the card effect that granted you 15% max health has been reduced to 10% max health. They've also reduced the base max health on the card from 565 to 240, but added 190 max mana to compensate. I think this is a necessary and fair nerf to Godmother. More and more people were learning how to counter it, but as I said, it was a necessary change. Another card similar to Godmother but for the more damage focused players was Knight of the Asha, which rather than granting health as an effect gives you more damage, but it kinda sucked honestly. So they've increased the basic damage from 25 to 30 and increased the amount of basic damage you get per attribute point from 1.5 to 2.5 when the elevate effect is activated. Hope this card will now be more viable, but I'm not sure I would run it with the elevate effect. It feels like too much like a glass cannon to me, but it could be perfect for someone like Greystone with 2 lives. Flame of Zekin was probably the most talked about card. It was kind of ridiculous when teams would run at least 3 of them just to take Orb Prime insanely quickly, and thank God Epic have nerfed this card. Although, do you think these nerfs go far enough? They've increased the cost from 2,000 to 3,000 gold, so basically the card is now free after you spend 6,000 gold on attribute points. They've reduced the base damage and the amount your damage increases per activation, as well as increasing the cooldown and mana cost. Basically what Epic are trying to do is stop you getting crazy high damage on your flame early on that you are able to do Orb Prime at 10 minutes, but they're okay with you being able to do this later on in the game, probably in an attempt to keep match times down. I'm not sure how I feel about it, to be honest. I think it's okay because it's still a card that you're basically getting very little from, especially if you don't use it to get Orb Prime and then you only have 2 other card slots. Deathcrawler is the final card I'll talk about since it's quite a popular topic of discussion. They've reduced the attack speed by 15 and reduced the critical damage bonus from 300% to 250%, probably in an attempt to stop Kallaris and Revenants from one-shotting you out of stealth, a welcome change. Be sure to check out all the other card changes in the patch notes. I don't want to bore you to death by going over every single one. Only one gem saw a rebalance, and that was the multi-shot gem. They reduced the damage of additional projectiles from 80% to 60%. I always felt like 80% damage was kind of ridiculous anyway. There were some changes to the UI and game systems. As probably most of you are aware, they've lowered the cost of mastery ranks from 1 to 4 across all heroes, with the new prices listed here. At rank 5 and beyond, the prices will remain unchanged. This is probably just to help newer players and doesn't really affect those of us that have been playing for a long time. Mastery tokens have been added to the game, which allow you to unlock 1 rank for any hero at any rank. These can be obtained through various reward systems. They've added a mastery token to the week 1 September Megavolt track, which is probably replacing one of the chests that you get on your road to tokens that unlocks your Megavolt. All card level restrictions have been removed. You can now get all the cards in chests irrespective of your level. The loot crate substitution reward has been increased to 500,000 rep, up from 100k, and both of these are pretty nice changes. You can now purchase a Megavolt key during the final week of the month, which will give you another go at the current Megavolt. But honestly, don't get me started on the Megavolt this month. It's absolutely bullshit. There have been scoreboard updates which we all knew were coming, and while this is a pretty nice quality of life change, I suspect this is far from what Epic have in mind, so expect numerous iterations in the future. They've added team totals, total gold, and various other elements to provide you with better information. There have been updates to the deck builder to improve workflow of creating decks, which in my eyes wasn't that bad, but definitely could do with improvements. My favourite change probably was the fact that you can now see your stats in the card shop. This is something I requested in the PTR, so it's nice to see that Epic have worked hard to make it happen. Finally, the loot crate / monthly Megavolt. They've added some Aurora Empress skins to the loot crate, as well as a Drongo and Steel skins, but holy shit, This month's Megavolt is such bullshit. You can either get 2 skins or 3 sets of cards, as well as diamond chests, loot crates and keys, but honestly getting cards from the Megavolt is absolutely stupid and I can't believe it's in there. Firstly, June Winds is a brand new card which was in the PTR and was removed for balance issues I believe. It's a combustible chaos card that has an effect called Fearless Blood. Reduce your health by 100 and gain 8 power and 7 attack speed. Affects double per activation. Now the numbers might not be accurate since they haven't been confirmed by Epic, but that's basically what the card does. You basically reduce your health by 100 and you get 8 power and 7 attack speed. When you use it again, you reduce your health by 200, you gain 16 power and 14 attack speed on top of what you previously gained. So you can stack a lot of power and attack speed. The effect is permanent however, so if you unequip the card, you'll still have the same stats. I think I got down to like 75 health on a Feng Mao and I just ran a shield build, so I had like 500 shields and 75 health. And then I was just attacking and killing everything in like 1 or 2 hits. It was insane. So I'm hoping that, you know, the way the card is now, it's not that crazy. I guess the popular question with regards to this patch is, have Epic done enough? I think they have. They've worked on a lot of the overtuned heroes, buffed the ones that needed it, and there's of course a lot more they could do with heroes, but 6 changes to heroes is quite significant, especially for a new system. I don't think a lot of the problems stem from heroes themselves, I think it's more the cards, so the huge amount of card changes should definitely switch things up. I felt Countess's E at level 2 was too much damage. I would have liked to see a reduction there, but other than that I can't really complain. This patch is packed full of content. The Megavolt sucks, especially because there are cards in it, but whatever, I've given up on Epic's logic in that respect. June Winds is not exclusive to the Megavolt even though it says it is. It's still obtainable in chests and I've confirmed this with Epic. So what are your thoughts on this patch? Do you think Epic have done enough? Are you looking forward to playing a hopefully more balanced Paragon? Let me know in the comment section below. Smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed, subscribe for all the latest Paragon content, and until next time guys, peace.